The time has come.
I felt a great disturbance in the force, as if millions of voices suddenly cried out.
What is up, everybody? Welcome into the Sports Jedi Network. I'm your host, BX Sports Jedi Kev. Man, it's feel good to say these words. The New York Knicks are back-to-back in the Eastern Conference Finals. Wow, awesome! But now, if you've been following the channel, you know I've been a little quiet on the Knicks front this year. I'm gonna be 100% with you, real buck. The streaming wars almost won between where to purchase the Knick games, whether it's on Prime, Peacock, ESPN, the League Pass. It made it a full-time job just to find the games. Also, financially, it was a really struggle, a burden to actually get and watch these games. I could not say how much I miss doing the watch-alongs and the audience that we had. Also, the playback going down really hurt us. Not be able, because once you're a partner on the playback, you have League Pass, you were able to that resource of all those different games. When the playback went away, it really hurted at least the NBA side of my channel. But it's no problem. They're not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. The Knicks are back, and we're going to finish our story. It's not a bandwagon thing. It's not that they're hot right now. We've been covering this team for over 4 years, doing the watch-alongs. Dedicated a lot of 82-game seasons where, those 2 years that they missed the playoffs, falling twice in the second round. Last year in the Eastern Conference, losing to the Hawks, gentlemen sweep. All those things, we've been there. I don't have to give you my resume, how much I'm a Knick fan from, back to Bernard King, 94 season, the 99 season, up and down. And let's go, man. I'm ready to go. But New York is starting to play basketball like this when the Garden is shaking and when we are officially 7-0 in the last 7 playoff games. I mean, you got to believe, the Jedi has to return to this desk and just feel the force. The Knicks are becoming a force in the NBA. And, of course, salute to everyone in the chat. We got D-Ross in the building. We got Big Haas in the building. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us on the X app. Thank you for joining us, whether you're watching us on Instagram, on the Return to the Knicks podcast on Instagram, or on the Sports Jedi Network podcast feed on the Instagram app. Thank you. Don't forget, hit that like, subscribe. Also, I'm going to be also 100% buck. The transition from the YouTube side to the playback. A lot of you guys that used to follow the Sports Jedi Network Knicks watch along came with me to the playback. I lost a lot of fans or a lot of subscribers that were part of the playback or part of the YouTube didn't go to the playback, and some of them are not even here in the YouTube side. We think since we're not doing mostly into wrestling and doing wrestling interviews with the wrestlers, breaking down Monday Night Raw recaps and all that stuff, I saw a lot of unfollowers. So, there was a demographics or statistics that I had to go towards more wrestling because they were more in tune than our Knicks community. So doesn't mean anything. Let's build this Knicks community. Let's grow. Appreciate those that stood by me. Thank you, and watch and supported me and Chef Dan for the 4 years that we did the Knicks coverage. Just let's go. Let's get it, man. We're close, man. We're doing something that we haven't done that we haven't done. I don't think we haven't gone back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals since '99, 2000. Also, we're 8 games away from hoisting the Larry O'Brien Trophy. Of course, I always tell you guys, never touch the money, never put the cart before the horse. All those cliches, but man, you just gotta. I have to say this: just watching the team decimate the 76ers in such a clean sweep, watching them put up 144 points in a clincher, and we haven't seen that kind of dominant. Undefined, this team plays just like the city and my goodness, I haven't seen this energy. I know when we did that run and we fell short with the injuries, that was another whole level. Even when we were genuinely swept by the Hawks, we had that energy, but this feels something different. And just 4 wins away, I say this: can Jalen Brunson and the New York Knicks, us Knicks fans, it's going to be over 56 years, can we finish our story? Can we see this team get to that next level? We're for it. Look, today I'm giving my raw takes and why this roster feels so different. How Mike Brown, I am a big Tom Thibodeau fan. I thought Tom Thibodeau helped establish the culture, turn around the LOL, laugh out loud Knicks. The LeBron James coming into Madison Square Garden and flipping bottles because they're destroying the Knicks and they're bored. Those days were over. We already saw that. And due to the fact of Tom Thibodeau's establishment of playing professional basketball, do your job, held yourself accountability. But I got to say something about Mike Brown. In the beginning of the season, I wasn't feeling him. I'm going to be totally buck and honest with you. I wasn't feeling him really getting into as a head coach. I thought he was a recycle retread, but he's also won world titles. Whether you say it's with the help of LeBron James, but he knows how to manage A-level superstars and megastars, and the proof is in his resume. One thing I did watch, the Emirates Cup, when the Knicks won the Emirates Cup, the way he incorporated different players in the system at that time. At that time, Tyler Kolak was very instrumental of helping get that in-season tournament cup. Great job there. And one thing I got to give credit to Mike Brown, that I was watching the game where game number 2 or 3, I believe it was game 3, when we didn't have OG Anunoby. And a lot of times I said, you know what? That kind of game, or game 2, excuse me. I remember talking to Chef Dan. We were talking on the phone, having a conversation. I was telling Chef Dan, if this was Tom Thibodeau last year coaching that game 2 against the 76ers, the series might have been tied at 1 game apiece. The reason why I say the way Mike Brown entrusts his rotation of everybody on the team, to see a game where there is no OG Anunoby, and I even saw Zohan play some minutes. Harkapodi, who was just nothing but a bench cheerleader on the Tom Thibodeau system. Also seeing the Larry Shamet. I mean, talk about Larry Shamet in this absence of OG Anunoby, hitting these monster threes, double-digit scoring, coming off the bench. The deep bench, when comes in to play, delivers. Jose Alvarado coming in and just bringing that energy, shooting the 3-ball. And he is just so fast and so quick. And what about Karl-Anthony Towns? I mentioned that to Chef Dan. I was talking about that. Karl-Anthony Towns, the one thing that worries me is picking up those two quick fouls before the quarter ends. When Karl-Anthony Towns stays out of foul trouble, which is, it's no shit Sherlock moment. If he does that, the team plays so different. Mitchell Robinson doesn't have to put the extended minutes, although now Mark Harkapodi has become a trusty third option off the bench as a center that you don't have to. If you play him too much, you're going to get exposed. Granted, that's what happens with a lot of deep players. 13, 14 man on the roster. We get that. We expect that from that. But I love the fact that he's incorporating all these players. And I've said this to Chef Dan. One of the biggest success for the Knicks, if they're going to go and narrow it down to 4 more games, is going to be OG Anunoby's help. Now, the Knicks benefit by trumping the 76ers, totally sweeping them, going to that next, getting all this time off. If you're a Knicks fan, you want to see this Cleveland Cavaliers series go really long, or with the Detroit Pistons. Right now, just be careful what you wish for. What I mean by that is I'm going to step back and I'm just going to see whoever wins. Get ready for a battle. Get ready to continue to battle. Continue playing team basketball. Continue playing Knicks basketball defensively, out rebounding, hitting the three balls when open. Read and react. Remember, we heard that a lot from Tom Thibodeau, but this team is actually reading and reacting for under Mike Brown. This is exactly what we're going to need for the Knicks. And don't matter if it's going to be D-Ross, salute, D-Ross, salute. Good to see you guys. Brandon Schultz, I want to say hello. We got guest Haas, Knuckle Brew. You called the sweep, brother. Yes, indeed. I did. My Haas wanted a gentleman sweep. Said, I'd see a gentleman sweep. Brandon, yes. One step at a time, Brandon. One step at a time. Yes, whoever, wherever, whatever. That's the motto. That's the moniker. Yes, I agree with you, D-Ross. Whichever team happens to be able to play against the Knicks, that's how it goes. Personally, I don't care. If it's the Cleveland Cavaliers, we're gonna have home court advantage. Although the Knicks have been so impressive on the road, I mean, to go into did that feel like the Philadelphia spectrum? That felt like New York. That felt like Madison Square Garden with extra cheese on the Philly cheesesteak. My goodness, the Knicks fans, you guys. I know you guys have been rowdy. You guys have been ruckus. You talk about feeling the force. The Knicks Nation makes the NBA fandom feel the force because they are so loud, they are proud, and they are everywhere. You guys, it's great to be an honor amongst you guys, locking arms and totally rooting for the orange and blue, the New York Knickerbockers. Great honor to see that. Seeing you guys in Philadelphia, making it uncomfortable, just to the point where Philadelphia might be in some major turmoils, dismantling the whole entire team from Joel Embiid to Nick Nurse and Kyle Lowry retire. They've got their issues due to the fact of the beatdown and the destruction what the Knicks gave them on them. And not only that, I don't even think it's on the on-court. It's the feel around the building. The management hearing the amount of fans not showing up and preventing the Knick Nation to go in there and taking over and hostile the building. That's something that's going to cause the 76ers front office to do their thing. But we're worried about them when next year they're on their way to wherever they're going to go vacation. But we're talking about our Knicks here. Yes, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe. Please share it. This is also per analytics. If this video does good, if it gets the traction, we'll continue with the more Knick content. If it's going to stay low, then listen, I got to stay where I have to go. I have to stay where it's giving me ratings and viewership in my channel. So you guys, the Knicks fans, Knick Nation, you help me grow this support, or then I just I just raise my hand and say, I tried. You guys are not feeling me. That's the way I felt a little bit. Why also to where financially I couldn't, but it was just a tough one. I miss talking to everyone. I miss talking to D-Ross. Missing to Big Task at Hand. Miss talking to Vernon. All the group. Mr. Cody. Tony. I missed everybody. Everyone that was the normal staple on our channel for the watch along. Maria. I missed everyone. I've talked about guys that has been with us on the channel for over 4+ years. Again, if you're joining me late here. Of course, we're back. We're talking some Knicks basketball. Definitely do all that. Don't forget, we are sponsored. Yes, there's a sponsor. We are sponsored by Dude Wipes. Dude Wipes, stay fresh, stay clean, stay match ready. Dude Wipes, we're wiping out the competition with the Sports Jedi Network. I've got a promo code, but if I switch it, it's going to go over to the wrestling side. I just wanted to get on here and talk about it. And also by G Fuel Energy. G Fuel Energy, fuel your soul, fuel your streaming, fuel your workouts with G Fuel Energy. You go PGH Chris. That's my other partner on the wrestling side. Use his promo code, his affiliate, and save on G Fuel Energy. Fuel your stream. And also, we got a coffee, Blackout Coffee. Go to blackoutcoffee.com. On promo code, use Sports Jedi 20 and save 20% on all the Blackout Coffee products. I recommend you the Morning Reaper. That'll get you going. It's a nice medium brewed, medium roasted coffee. Great job there. They're from Florida. They're American made. Stand up, wake up, and pro Second Amendment, and support a company that's here in the United States. Blackout Coffee. So that's all my sponsors, man. We have that going on. Hopefully we could get that going where we do some more Knicks content. We do some more Knicks talk. And we're looking forward to when is the Eastern Conference. We might do some more watch-alongs. Again, I need more love. I got to feel, you guys want to return and not saying to kiss my ass. I know saying, hey, I want to see the videos grow and the re-like. I'm going to be there. If it's low, then I know. Actions speak louder than words. Am I correct? All right. So here's something that I really enjoyed seeing. Boy, when I saw that 144-114 blowout, and the Knicks set a postseason record with 11 3/4 in the first quarter, 25 for the game total, and a blowout. Outscored them by 89 points across the sweep. Their third most lopsided non-first round series in NBA history. The last time the Knicks did the sweep, the last time the Knicks swept a team in the second round was the Atlanta Hawks, 1999. Remember that with the Marcus Camby, Latrell Sprewell. After that big shot by Allen Houston against Miami Heat and eliminating them, the Knicks just went on and they just decimated the Atlanta Hawks. Those were non-competitive games. Those felt like I would turn back the clock here against the 76ers. And of course, it set them up for that battle. If you remember, 99 against the Indiana Pacers, where, again, I believe Patrick Ewing injured his thumb, wasn't there, but the Knicks ended up still winning on the Larry Johnson 4-point play. Magical moment. We still have a whole final conference here for some magical moments here. One thing I got to say, we are being led by our captain, our megastar. I told you that 2-3 years ago. I said this guy is on the verge of becoming a mega star in the NBA, and that's our captain, number 11, Jalen Brunson, averaging 28 points per game, 2.5 rebounds per game, and 6.5 assists per game. The Knicks, one thing is so refreshing the way they share the basketball. It's so contagious. Seeing all the different from Karl Anthony Towns that game with the high assist level. Just the way they moved that one play where he just passed to a cutting Josh Hart. Something. Hey, remember if you know me from all those years of doing a watch along, I always tell you motion, cut to the basket, find the basket, move the basketball around. Boy, when I saw that there, I sat there with a smile. I'm like, my goodness, I would have had a field day calling that game. And having enjoyed because of the way I was just poetry in motion all these last 7 games for the Knicks. And it was just beautiful. Again, but their main guy, I've said this here, very important to their success, besides Jalen Brunson, is OG Anunoby. The way OG Anunoby has the ability to lock down anywhere from a power forward to even a point guard, it's very important for them to keep him on board, keep him healthy, his defensive prowess, the ability to open the open three, because guys are worrying about the footwork, the penetration of Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns 2-man game, and then you have the cards around there. And Mikal Bridges has been very, 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 very good in the mid-range shots, getting some mid-range, feeling a little more comfortable. He hasn't lived up. This is another conversation for the offseason. Has he lived up to all the draft picks that we have surrendered? That's another conversation for the offseason. Let's wait until the story finish here. Let's be honest with you. You can't really say anything until his career is over as a Knick. Then you could dissect if those draft picks and was worth the trade. Right now, it's to be determined, to be continued. Austin has to sweep the brooms out there. Of course, Cat is going to get better, but I need a lot more. Karl Anthony Towns. This is the one thing. He's averaging 17.4 points a game. He's 11.3 rebounds and 6 assists per game. 6 assists per game from the man in the middle. Great job. A guy that really has stepped up. And I remember, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be 100% buck with you. When I talked to Chef about it, I said, I'm not feeling Miles McBride. During the season, he was always getting hurt, but his impact on the floor is very big, is important. Don't get me wrong. There was something about it that I told Chef. I think when the big blowout against the Hawks, the closeout game, he waited until the fourth quarter and almost garbage time to get final some free throws. And that was one aspect that bothered me of McBride. But McBride is mostly just on the offensive side. He's just a shooter right now. He's not known for penetrating. He's not known to go. He's not needed in this offense to do that. Maybe that's the reason why he doesn't get the fouls, get to the foul lines. But now I'm nitpicking because we're getting a kid who's a second round pick where they picked him and the Knicks patiently develop him. And now he is a very important force coming off the bench with his defensive prowl. He just the ability to just open down the threes. His shooting is so much confident. If us watching D-Ross and watching Miles McBride throughout the year growing and developing under us, you kind of see between quickly, I hate to say it, it's going to be a statement that's going to probably bite me in my ass, or a lot of people will disagree with me. Between quickly, Miles McBride, Quentin Grimes, as we saw in the series there, I think the Knicks made the right choice to stay with Miles McBride, also for the financial reasons. Just the amount of money that, remember, we're in the cap league. Now we have to also start thinking about what players we're going to keep and not keep. I know that's for the offseason, but that's also something in some of these teams building decisions going forward, or even back then where they quickly away, where they traded, so made that big moves. And for them to keep Miles McBride and then and give him that extension at that number was a wise move in Brock Aller and Leon Rose and company in the front office. They're doing a great job there. Smart moves, smart play, and look at the dividends they're getting from Miles McBride. Look, the trade, you could say, might work for both teams and kind of benefits a little more of the Knicks. But Toronto made the postseason. RJ Barrett looks like he's comfortable in Toronto. Some of the guys there, they've got something nice for them in Toronto. Now, it's up to that front office has to do their thing. We don't worry about them. For both teams, it looks like it was a nice trade for both teams. Because OG wasn't going to be the number one star in Toronto if he would have stood there, and maybe that would have been something that would have felt on his shoulder. Where here he fits the perfect number 2.5 or 3, perfect fit for OG Anunoby and Miles McBride. Yeah, Deuce is my son, Mitchell Robinson. What can we say about Mitchell Robinson? The one thing Mitchell Robinson, we knew that he has his on the court is a big impactful, whether it's rebounding, whether it's the lob, whether it's the offensive rebounding, the intimidating factor, the put back ability, the alley-oop ability. It's just with Mitchell Robinson, the soreness, or the availability. We always seen that with him. We know when he's fully healthy, ready to go, some way, somehow, he's going to impact the basketball game for a positive for the New York Knicks. You got to be excited. You have to be right now, as you're a Knicks fan, so much excited because they finished with 53 wins this regular season. They're right back where they were. They didn't take a step back, which I was a little worried. I said, you know what? Maybe the Knicks, and I said this, and I'm not going to lie. I'm going to keep it $100 with you. I'm not going to bullshit you guys. I told you I always wear my Knicks fandom on my heart, on my sleeve, and I'm very, very transparent when it comes to the Knicks. I said this in the middle of the year. I think the Knicks are going to probably go to the second round and just fall short. So, boy, I'm totally wrong. I am totally wrong, and I'm pleasantly wrong, and I'm willing to admit it. I'm willing to say that. Doesn't mean I hate the team. Doesn't mean I dislike the team. I just had a bad feeling. I just thought, during the middle of the season, with the way they were going a little bit, the adjustment of the coaches, not knowing the proper rotation, who was available, injuries, so forth. But look, they're back at the Eastern Conference. They're exactly the same place with Tom Thibodeau now. We're going to find out, and we've seen it already in the first 2 rounds, the coaching, because Mike Brown makes the right adjustments with the players' minutes. He's keeping everybody sharp. And I know Tom Thibodeau says, stay ready. Whenever I call your name, stay ready. That was his philosophy. But if the people are not, they're ice cold off the bench. They're ice cold sitting, it's like a wrestler without a push. And a wrestler that doesn't get any TV time, and you want them to go in there and have a main event, they're ice cold. But he keeps everybody up and keeps everybody sharp. And I love the way he does that. Just to even see Hakapoti. I know because of foul situation, but the kid, Hakapoti, did not let the team down. He kept playing well. He played in sequence. Great job there. I'm just saying, whatever Bridges do, He's doing a great job. He's doing a phenomenal job. Shamit stepped up the last 2 games. Yes, Shamit off the bench has been a monster off the bench there. Phenomenal job off the bench. Great job there. And we'll see. And we're not even speaking about Josh Hart, with 9.5 rebounds per game. Josh Hart continues to get those rebounds, 9.5 rebounds per game. Great job there. I love the fact that he continues to show you the importance of the hitman Hart, and you got to be excited for even Mikal Bridges. He's in double figures, mid-range man, does a great job. We'll see how the Knicks go. I just wanted to come back on and give you a little bit of a taste of what my thoughts were of the Knicks. I'm going to keep it short. I'm going to keep it at this here. I want to thank everyone for the great viewing. Get ready. Keep your notifications. Hey, I need you guys, Knick Nation. Let everyone know the BX Sports Jedi Kev is back, and we're ready for some Knicks. We got to finish our story. We'll see you guys next time. May the sports be with you. All right, fellas.